Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this class, we discuss about D-based continuum model of lattice specific heat. This model has been proposed to overcome the limitations of Einstein's model. In 1912, Peter Debye, a Dutch-American physicist, improved Einstein's theory by taking the solid as a continuous vibrating medium, which gives a spectrum of frequencies instead of a single frequency as assumed by Einstein in his model. The main assumption of Einstein is all the atomic oscillators inside the solid vibrate with the same frequency. That is, the frequency spectrum of Einstein's model have only one frequency. Debye modified this assumption and he assumed that a continuously vibrating medium will give rise to a spectrum of frequencies instead of a single frequency. In order to explain this, Debye assumed that the atomic oscillator does not vibrate independently at constant frequency, but they are elastically coupled to their neighbors, and the motion of such a coupled system can be described in terms of normal modes. These normal modes consist of a set of frequencies instead of a single frequency. Now let us discuss the assumptions of Debye's continuum model. The solid is treated as an elastic continuum in which the velocity of the elastic waves is constant. He assumed that entire solid behaves like a continuum, and as the solid is set into thermal vibrations, this will give rise to lattice vibrations. These lattice vibrations will propagate in the form of elastic waves with constant velocity. Since the entire solid is treated as a continuum, the model is called as Debye's continuum model. The second assumption, any solid behaves as a system of coupled oscillators capable of vibrating elastically in many different modes. The frequency of vibration in one mode is different from that in the another mode. As these elastically coupled oscillators vibrate in different modes with different frequencies, so the spectrum is a continuous one instead of a single frequency. Now let us define density of modes. The next assumption, with each frequency, Debye associated a distribution function represented by d of omega, where omega is the angular frequency, such that d omega represents the number of modes of vibrations lying between the frequency interval omega and omega plus d omega. If you take a small frequency interval, then the number of modes of vibrations having this particular frequency range is represented by a distribution function capital D of omega into d omega. This quantity is represented as density of vibrational modes, or simply we call it as density of modes. So let us define the term density of modes. The number of vibrational modes per unit frequency range is called as density of modes. We know that when a solid is subjected to elastic vibrations, there are two types of vibrations produced, that is longitudinal vibrations and transverse vibrations. The number of modes of longitudinal and transverse vibrations per unit volume in the frequency range omega and omega plus d omega are respectively given by for longitudinal mode omega square d omega divided by 2 pi square into c suffix l cube and 2 into omega square into d omega divided by 2 pi square c t cube. Here the suffixes l and t corresponds to the velocities of the elastic waves in the longitudinal mode and transverse mode. That is, CL represents the velocity of the longitudinal elastic waves and CT represents the transverse elastic waves. Now observe here in the second term for transverse mode we are multiplied with 2. This is because it has two polarization modes corresponding to two mutually perpendicular direction which is perpendicular to the actual direction of propagation. That is, if the wave propagates in this particular direction with velocity ct, then we have two planes of polarization which are perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Hence, we have to multiply with 2. So, number of modes of vibration increases twice. Here, for longitudinal mode, there is only one mode is possible, whereas for transverse mode of vibration, we have two states of polarization, hence multiply with 2. Thus, the number of modes of vibrations d of omega in a solid of volume V in the frequency range omega and omega plus d omega is given by d of omega d omega is equal to, now if you take the entire volume then multiply with V, where V is volume of the solid, V divided by 2 pi square into 1 by CL cube plus 2 by CT cube into omega square into d omega. Call this as equation 2. This quantity d omega represents the density of modes, or it gives us the spectral distribution function for normal modes of vibration. One major modification made by Debye in Einstein's model is the assumption of continuum. Let us understand this concept. Debye realized that if the interatomic distance is much smaller than the wavelength of the propagating elastic waves, then the solid may be treated as a continuum, and the elastic waves through such solids covering the wavelength region extending from sound waves, that is low frequencies, up to short waves, up to infrared. The frequency spectrum of such a continuum solid will have the frequencies or the wavelengths in the range ranging from low frequencies corresponding to sound waves to infrared waves corresponding to short waves. The frequencies propagating through the solid range from 0 to a definite upper limit called as Debye frequency, represented by omega d. This is one important assumption in Debye's model. When a solid is set into vibrations, the frequencies that it can possess ranges from 0 to a maximum value, an upper limit, which is called as Debye frequency. The solid is non-dispersive. As a result, the meaning of this statement is non-dispersive is the velocity of elastic waves does not depend on frequency. It means that the waves, elastic waves of different frequencies travel with the same velocity. This is one more important assumption made by Debye. A solid is a non-dispersive medium. As a result, the velocity of the waves does not depend on frequency. It implies that all the elastic waves I mean, elastic waves of all the frequencies will have the same velocity. The number of modes of vibrations of solids are limited in number. The third important assumption is the number of modes of vibrations of solids are limited in number. That number is equal to 3n. If a solid has n number of atoms, then the maximum number of possible modes of vibration is equal to 3n. Therefore, the function, frequency distribution function d of omega, has to satisfy the normalization condition. As per this assumption, the frequency function, distribution function, has to satisfy the normalization condition. The condition is, if we integrate this function d omega within the limits, minimum value of frequency is 0, maximum value of frequency is omega d, that must be equal to 3n. Maximum number of possible modes of vibrations is equal to 3n. Now let us simplify this. Substituting the value of d omega from the equation 3, equation 2, d omega is equal to V divided by 2 pi square 1 by CL cube plus 2 by CT cube into omega square d omega. So we get, substituting, this is equal to, just get shifted downwards. So let me write, this is equal to 3n. Integral of 0 to omega d V by 2 pi square into 1 by CL cube plus 2 by CT cube into omega square d omega is equal to 3n. The maximum possible modes of vibration. Or integrating this, V divided by 2 pi square into 1 by CL cube plus 2 by CT cube into omega d cube by 3. Integrating this omega square, we get omega cube by 3 within the limit 0 to omega d. Substituting, we get omega d cube by 3. That is equal to 3n. Now rearrange the terms. V divided by 2 pi square into 1 by CL cube plus 2 by CT cube into omega d cube is equal to 9n. Therefore, the dBA frequency omega d cube is equal to 9n 2 pi square by V. Taking this term to right side, we get 9n into 2 pi square by V into 1 by CL cube plus 2 by CT cube to the power of minus 1. Call this as equation 6. This equation 6 gives us the expression for dBA frequency, that is the maximum frequency that is permitted according to dBA's model. Now with these assumptions in the dBA's model, now let us compare Einstein's model with dBA's model. Both Einstein's model and dBA's model are quantum models because they assume that energy is quantized. Now let us compare, let us understand the similarities and differences between Einstein's model and dBA's model. Einstein's model considers the vibrational modes of individual atoms in the solid, whereas the dBA's model considers the vibrational modes of the solid as a whole. Because of coupling, the solid vibrates as a whole. Therefore, we consider the vibrations of the solid as a whole. The second difference is the atoms in the Einstein solid behaves as independent harmonic oscillators. In dBA's model, the atoms present in the dBA solid behaves as coupled harmonic oscillators. The third difference, the Einstein's approximation considers the thermal energy in the optical mode, whereas D-base approximation considers the thermal energy in the acoustical mode. The vibrations occur due to the thermal energy in the acoustical mode, whereas here the thermal energy is mainly in the optical mode. Fourth difference, the vibrational energy of the solid is quantized in terms of phonons. This is similarity between both the models. Both the models assumes that the energies are quantized. Energies associated with the thermal vibrations are quantized in terms of phonons. The theory gives relatively lower value of specific heat capacity, whereas this theory gives us higher value of specific heat capacity. That is because Einstein's theory assumes thermal energy in the optical mode, whereas D-base model assumes thermal energy in the acoustical mode. At higher temperatures, this model approaches asymptotically to Dulong-Petit's law. Here in D-base model also, at higher temperatures, it approaches asymptotically to the Dulong-Petit's law. It means at high temperatures, whether it is Dulong's classical model or Einstein model or D-base model, all the three models will result into the same conclusion. This is one more similarity between D-base model and Einstein model. At low temperatures, the theory proposes exponential behavior for specific heat. As the temperature decreases, specific heat capacity decreases exponentially. Whereas D-base model predicts that T-cube behavior for specific heat capacity. That is, as the temperature decreases, specific heat capacity decreases as cube of its absolute temperature. These are some of the similarities and differences between Einstein's model and D-base model.